Today it's just kind of a downer day. I started to do another one and I was going to talk about borderline. I'll do another day because I just don't like labels and I don't like people getting caught up in a label and defining themselves in a negative way because there's more connotations to these labels than just, an identifying factor, They kind of, labels can define you. And they've got so many negative ones. And some of these negative labels are, just normal stuff that people struggle with. And a lot of people struggle with certain aspects of relationship and feeling vulnerable, feeling they're going to be abandoned. Like, that's pretty common stuff for people when they get triggered. And just like I was talking about yesterday, it is that, that hand that you're dealt in the very beginning. Even though, when you made the plan to come down and go through the experience, that's the veil goes over, so you can't remember. It's just some kind of a thing that it prevents us from being able to remember everything. And I think it's necessary because at this point of consciousness, it would be very hard to be able to remember all your lives and all of everything about the world, or, life. So, or everything about life, because you're only going to know what you know. It's only going to be by your experience. And that is why reincarnation exists and why everybody keeps going. If it was so miserable as how people feel when they're experiencing it on more heavy kind of, like this energy, this place has been a heavy, a really hard place to come for a soul. You can see, because you go through so much stuff. And, you have to deal with hormones and emotions and, these chemicals, and then the interference with the outside chemicals. But, in some of the other incarnations, you don't have those same aspects. So it's a very heavy, when you go through things here and you don't remember what life is really, and you experience death, it's so you can go through that pain. Because one thing is like, it always ends up being that people have more value to life, to time and stuff when they are, hurt by somebody dying that they cared about. It always gives them a reevaluation of what's important. And you need to be able to do that all the time. And, when you're incarnating, you are always learning and you're always expanding your consciousness. But still, if you have never, ascended to the top and descended back down, then you won't have an understanding of higher dimensions. You have to go through the experience to get there. And, most souls have been incarnating for a long time, or they wouldn't even be doing this experience. When they talk about like old souls and new souls and stuff like that, I don't know, what the real, like if we were going to try and put it in an age difference, I don't really know what an age difference there would be. I think that there are these, what we kind of think of as the Big Bang. I think that those kinds of things happen is that, like, I think it's a part of what is about to happen when the event, this cosmic, solar flash is supposed to happen. It's written in, ancient texts. It's been talked about for a long, long time. And it's weird is like, that the government doesn't talk about this stuff. They make anything as just being wacky. I just think about that fucking, whatever that was called, when it was switching over to 00. They seriously made like the world was going to end. Then the Mayan calendar, when that ended, they thought that the world was going to end. I mean, part of the stuff that we deal with these people is just like idiotic. And then the other part is that they treat us like that we're too scared of everything. Well, tell us some stuff. It was a chance. So, whatever. It seems like the government should be talking about this. You know, they know about this stuff. So, when it happens, I think it's going to be kind of like a big bang. It's going to be a huge expansion of the galaxy. It's going to create new universes and stuff. The planet Earth is supposed to move to a different place. The moon's supposed to be in a different place. I've heard all sorts of things. And, you know, I mean, we won't know until it happens. It's always hindsight is when you know. It's not like you can know ahead of time. I mean, you can sometimes see things, but it's still a translation of information from the future. So until you actually experience it, you don't really know. But I think that time is going to be like there would be new souls maybe. But, you know, because it's a big energetic. But then all of that energy has to begin to realize itself, has to begin to take form, has to develop consciousness. That's how fucking incredible we are. And that's what I think so many people can't wrap their heads around, is like how you actually are consciousness, like how you actually became to be. You didn't just get born in a body and then go, oh, so now I'm a person. So what is this person supposed to do? So I can get up there in the clouds with this, you know, guy in the robes, because I'm real scared of the guy down there with the horns. It is, your consciousness is its own being. Your consciousness has its own life outside of this presence. And it is just that when you're incarnated in this presence right now, that you're so caught up in the three-dimensional experience that it's very real to you. You've got the veil on. You can't remember outside, which is fine because it's about the learning. But the whole thing is people get so caught up in it and think it's so serious and it's so real and it's so blah, blah, blah. And it's not. It's just you are going through an experience. You're like, you know, playing a part in a play. You're just going through an experience so you can learn what that experience, how it felt to go through that. You know, you can hear about something. I was just talking to somebody too, and they were talking about something, and I've had this happen several times lately, and they'll be telling me something, and I'll be like, you know, I don't know. I can't relate to that. I've not had that experience. I have no feeling about it. And that is one of the things, like, why I think it's important for me to talk about the things I have experienced, because there is other people out there who have experienced it as well. And they're still trying to, like, heal or figure it out or whatever. And any of us who have already, you know, gotten to a certain part, then we need to share that information, you know. That's what helps builds us up. And so I keep going so blank. I started one a minute ago, and I don't know why I'm just going so blank. And I'm so, it feels so weird because I just feel super, super exhausted. Like this is like kind of like a challenge. That's why I was going to do it about mental health, because I was like, I'm sure that other people are going through this too. And it's got to be something about this just heavy energy. I mean, there's a huge purge happening right now with the collective, and it is very, there's some heavy energy. It's just feels like shrouded in, I don't know, like kind of like right before a storm, how I feel really weird. Like I remember before a tornado or something, you go outside, it just has this weird stillness, this weird kind of heaviness. A lot of times it'll be different colors. It's just become so still. But anyways, I wanted to finish talking about what I was talking about now. If I could remember what it was. Oh, it drives me crazy. It is like Swiss cheese, but it's also like ice skating on Swiss cheese. You just go in and then you just go down a hole. It's like, wait, where was I? And I am still, this is so weird. I swear, my yard is like a million of these, it almost looks like snow, these pine needles everywhere. And it's like it's fall. It's really weird. I don't remember it being like this last time. I don't know, but I think they're messing with the weather, so there's going to be changes. But so I think I was talking about the souls and stuff like that. So, and that's why I talk so much about the dogs. I find it so interesting about their state of consciousness. But they could have they already could have had a realization of consciousness. Like they planned this as a conscious being to come into this life as a dog. It's not like by accident that they just get born, but there is certain animals or certain ways that a consciousness begins. Like once the consciousness becomes conscious, then it can make choices, and then it can be incarnated. And when you get to that part, that you would be planning. Your consciousness can't plan for your life and go and start reincarnating before it even understands that it's consciousness. Just because people are realizing it right now, well, you already know it. You're just realizing it in this experience, because this experience is about expansion right now. Because this is going to be, this is a transition in the ages. It is a big change in the cosmos, the whole cosmic thing. There's like a change that happens it's called The Harvest. If you go in and you read like the Book of One, the raw stuff, and I'm sure there's other channelers and stuff who have talked about it, and but the harvest, this ascension thing for the souls. And I keep thinking about this so much lately, because my mom's religious, and so she talks about she's not the only religious person I know. There's other ones, but they all talk about this is what's that called? No, not reincarnation. When the it's like tribulation. I keep seeing the word. Well, it used to freak me out when I was a kid, and Revelations used to freak me out when I was a kid, and so in the rapture and stuff, and also in the ascension, there's going to be a separation with the souls, not you separating, but this thing, like how we're seeing all these people who are so locked in to the narrative or something. Like, if they aren't gonna wake up, I don't know. Like, that's what I keep wondering about. Like, is this part of the rapture or something? Is this the dividing? Are we watching this happen? Like, and we know like certain souls are gonna be going one place and certain souls are gonna be going another place. Like, it's weird when you have an awareness of what's going on, and you're watching it from a different place. Like, there's so many people that don't have any awareness at all, and they're just so caught up in like these are certain words you really can't say, but the stuff that's going on in like Georgia and Arizona and stuff, in about 2022, 2024, and I got my thing the other day in the mail for the preliminary. Fuck that. Play these games anymore. Yeah. No. I heard that there was one country too that they put the things out and everybody refused. And that's what everybody needs to do here. But when half the people don't, well, I don't think it's half. I think out here where I'm at, it is a high number. But because I'm fucking red zone zombie apocalypse. But so the people, yeah, that's where I'm just like, are they just not going to wake up? Are they just going to stay this way? Is it going to be that this toxin is going to come down and then all these people are just going to drop dead and it's going to be like the leftovers? And they're going to just, go. They would just be leaving and going back to Dead World, and you start playing in the next one, some of them may turn around and come right back and be somebody's kid, that they, it's not like they're gone forever, is all I'm saying. But there would be, we're leading up to something is going to happen, and it could. So I just think it's super important to really, and it's hard when they've got so much division right now, because the people, if that is how it plays out, which, how do we know? These are like, like in the Bible and stuff, it's like, and this will be so, and this, like they're telling you, hey, this is going to happen. This is because it's already written. It's already written. So we're just telling you, you're going to experience it because you're going to go through the experience of it, but it's already happened. Like, when you get on that kind of way of looking at things. So, yeah, something's going to happen. But it would make the most sense when we can see such two different realities happening, and if they do that, those people to just be like, gone instantly, all of them, it'd be super, super sad. And, it's really important to spend as much time with everybody right now. And as I sit here in my cabin by myself, not much to spend time with anybody, but I talk to them on the phone and stuff. But I'm really still burnt out on the driving. I'm supposed to be doing the week before I go to Key West, I'm supposed to be going to Mount Shasta with my granddaughter. And now, they've got all these restrictions. I don't even know if California's closing. They've got fires the whole way. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know. That's a lot. All those drives that I did, because after the Oregon one, that was so stressful. I thought, okay, I'm not going anywhere until my granddaughter's graduation. And then I ended up having to do so many more drives in between that. And then after, driving so many more times. And I'm just like, I don't know. Every time I even think about driving, and just my brain feels like fried. Just trying to even, sometimes I'll sit here and I'll look at this and I can't see. I think it's ridiculous. I shouldn't even be behind the wheel. But that means I have to move in to a city because there's not stores and stuff out here, or just become dependent on somebody else to drive me, or take the bus. But the bus is an ordeal, especially so, yeah. But the drive, I can do the drive to town. Like, I can see it, far away. It's just details that I can't see. But, you can see, and still see big objects. I don't know. I don't know. I just want these med beds to hurry up. Come on. Let's get fucking forward with some of this shit. And I'm just hoping that the sleeping thing is, it's a small amount. I'm hoping that the stuff isn't going to be that the people are going to all just leave. I'm hoping that most of the people who are here right now get to go through and experience the golden age. And if they don't get to go in this existing body they're in, that they turn around and come right back. Well, it's 26,000 years. Everybody's going to be coming all the time. It just is sad when you think about some of the people to not be with them anymore, It's me. Sad. And it is important to just, every time you're with somebody, remember that's the last time you may see them. We got to really get that in our heads. That's how we should be living all the time, is that when we're with somebody, we should give them our 100%, our undivided, and always have that in our mind. It's going to be the last time I ever see this person, especially right now with what's going on and not knowing what the future is going to be. It's going to be really good. I know that part, but the part that, like I've said before, it's the road we're on. We don't know we obviously don't know how bloody it's going to get. We don't know how bad it's going to get. I would have thought everybody would have woke up by now. I don't know what we have to go through to get these people to wake up. So, and then I don't know if there is people who are not going to be able to, if that is that part of where we split apart. I don't know. Because, I've heard so much about the event with the spaceships coming and taking people off planet who are not at a high vibration. And if the event's coming soon, one thing is Alison Coe had done her thing because she was having so many people that were talking about it happening really soon, and disclosure and all this stuff to start happening. I mean, it should be now, like within the next couple weeks. And if it hasn't started, then that is the only good thing about that is that kind of makes me feel like, okay, then the event probably isn't as close either. So it could still be like a couple years away. But we know it's super, super close. It's super close. So the other day when they were talking about that solar flash was headed here, I mean, I was like, man, could it be already? I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I know that from, the different channelers and stuff that channel, like, Palladians and stuff like that, whenever I've heard them talking, it's always, that oh my gosh, I am really having a hard time today. Oh. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I can try and do this again tomorrow. Maybe it'll be in a more cohesive mind. I don't know what the hell. I don't know. I can't seem to keep my thoughts straight at all. But if you're having a hard time, this is what I was going to talk about originally. If you're having a hard time, like me apparently, then like I'm going to go outside and try and sit in the sun, get some vitamin D. I did get a call today. I was excited about, I mean, there is people waking up all the time on all sorts of things. That my granddaughter realized that there's carcinogens in her shampoo. Like, oh, hallelujah. Come on, people. Yeah, but I am like, yeah, there's carcinogens in your sunblock, and they want you to go out there and bake it into your skin. There's carcinogens in all our food. There's carcinogens in everything. That's what they're poisoning us nonstop with heavy metals, carcinogens, toxins. I don't know how it's so hard for some people to wrap their heads around that this is a weapon, a bioweapon, and that we're in a war about information. And they're showing who's powerful and who can control the world with information. It's fucking clear as shit. So, yeah, that I was thinking though, when I had heard that about that cosmic or that solar flash, this big solar storm or whatever is coming in, it could wipe out the planet and stuff. I was like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this will be the event and it's going to happen already. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I know there's lots of people doing a lot of predictions, and then people get really upset when it doesn't play out exactly the way they said. I like to go in and see, like, I like to be aware. Like, I don't understand these people who, you tell them something and they call you crazy. You give them an article and they're not going to read it. They're not going to look at that. And I'm not giving them a college newspaper. I'm not giving them a CDC thing. I'm giving them, real doctors talking about the studies, explaining about what the studies mean and what was studied and what's in them, and what's being held back from us. Like, doctors are looking into this. Not all the doctors are rotten. We've got, this right here, what's going on, is giving you your opportunity or to choose. Are you good or are you bad? It's the end of this, and there's people who are choosing to be rotten, and some of them it's out of greed, some of them it's out of desperation. I don't know. They're on their own personal journey, but they're definitely people who are making choices that are killing millions of people. And there's other people who are out there and they're being silenced, and they are trying to save people. So, we've got that the division and everything. And, but I'm definitely somebody who's always going out and trying to find, like, is there more information? Am I missing something? You know, what else is out there? And I don't understand this at all. These people who just like, no, I don't need to look into it. And they get mad at you if you do. It's weird. It's really weird. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to be, if that part of it is part of what's going to happen. Or if they're going to really do something to just turn the lights on for these people. It just, sometimes it seems like it just keeps dragging and dragging and dragging. Like, are they just going to keep doing all this horrible stuff until these people start waking up? I mean, I'm doing my part. I swear to God. I'm doing everything I can to try and wake people up, to just get them to start thinking for themselves, start looking into things. Sometimes I think it can be valuable just to tell somebody even the wrong thing, just so that they will go and look into it. You know, so you could say like, I can't think of any, you know, like, you know, Fauci, you know, you could say, oh, you know, I heard Congress was going to charge him with 10 million deaths. Then somebody would be like, well, oh, no way. Say, I swear. And then they go look into it. So then it gets them to start going and looking into things, you know, like you got to kind of stoke the fire, get a little fire under them to be like interested in something. They're all just not interested in anything. They just don't give a shit about what's going on around them. They're just in their own little fucking survival mode world on autopilot. Their face buried in a phone. Distracted by everything. Using the anger like their anger is a weapon. So, anyways, I'm just rattling. Oh my God, it's 27 minutes. I'm just okay. Well, I'll stop. For my mental health, seriously, I'm gonna put on some music. Probably this whining to you guys has helped me a little bit. And you know, all you can do when you feel super. Oh my God, these dogs. Oh. That is one thing too. I've got to put it out there. If you're gonna get a dog, go and really look. That's another thing. Look into the dog breed. Go in and understand about the dog itself. See if it, you know, works to your world, to your living arrangements, to your personality. I would never, you know, dog sitting is one thing, but I'm not an anxious person. But an anxious dog that's just, God, every second jumping around and barking and, oh my God, that doesn't make anybody go crazy. I do not understand how somebody with high anxiety gets a dog that's so friggin' anxious. It would just make it 10 zillion times worse. So anyways, for my mental health today, to try and lift my spirits, because it feels like such a downer day, is I'm going to put on some music, put on my swimsuit, and go outside and sit in the sun, maybe smoke a bowl or something, and just try and, you know, get into I don't know, get out of the funk. That's my advice. Just do whatever you can. I mean, sometimes it's hard. It's hard, and there is definitely a collective energy around us all the time that you're working up against. And so, yeah, the more you can isolate yourself, if you're in a big city and you're feeling like that, you know, try and get out, go to a park, get out, because I talked about like all this energy of all these people compacted on you. And people are going through some shit right now. And people who are going through some shit, don't forget, if they're down and they're negative and they're blah, they're pulling all that negative energy to them. So if you're in an apartment and you got somebody who's down below you and they're suicidal and they're sitting down there stewing for days and days and days, they're pulling so much negativity. If you want to envision it like demons and ghosts and, you know, probably family trying to communicate with them. I mean, there's a lot of energy. And if you're in an apartment, you could have that all around you right now. Just people just, you know, so much energy. And that's why if you're feeling like I don't have anybody around me. So I know that the energy is like, it's big. It's really heavy. So, you know, try and get out somewhere just to remove yourself from other people's energy. And it helps. Oh, even the dogs. So much drama. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you later.